What's going on, guys? It's your boy Xbox Gut. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about manga in general. So I want to tell you guys about the story about how I got into manga. If you guys are wondering why there's some gaps in between my collection and stuff like that, it's because if you want to show them over here, buddy, I have some mangas up for sale. I'm just selling some stuff. I've already sold Pluto. I've already sold some of my other stuff like that. But I wanted to tell you guys, I wanted to share a story with you guys on how I got into manga. So let's go back about a year, a little bit. It's about 11 months now. So I remember I was really into D&D, and if you guys don't know what D&D is, it's called Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm not gonna get too deep into what Dungeons and Dragons is, but Dungeons and Dragons is a game. It's a tabletop game where you're able to. It's just played with imagination and stuff like that. It sounds kind of hard to understand, but it's super fun and stuff like that. But I was very into it, and if you guys don't know, Barnes and Nobles has a lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and they have stories and they have figures and cards and stuff like that, even dice. So I would like to go over there and I'd like to pick up even tiles. So I would buy the starter pack. I bought the tiles and stuff like that, and I would just really get into D&D. And then one day we went up there to Barnes and Noble with my sister and my mom, and were just hanging out, and I was looking at some D&D stuff, and I wanted to go check on my sister to see what she was doing. And she was upstairs, and on upstairs is where the manga section is. And I remember I saw her looking at just like a bunch of different stuff, and I was like, what's this? And she was looking at like some Dragon Ball, and it wasn't the first one, it wasn't the second one, it was probably like the fourth, maybe fifth, maybe sixth one. And she was like, look at this. And I was like, what the, it's like, are these comic books or what? I'm like, what are these? And she's like, no, it's called manga. And I was like, oh. I was like, that's cool. And she's like, look, you read it right to left. These are like Japanese comic books. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I started like, that intrigued me right away. So I was like, at first I was into novels. So I wasn't, like I said, I was into D&D, but at the same time I was kind of reading novels at the same time. If you guys can see my Halo novels down there. But I was like, cool, there's pictures. It's easier to read, you know, it's a lot lighter. And there's a lot cooler stories, you know, there's like Dragon Ball. At first I was super into Dragon Ball. I was like, Dragon Ball Z, it's cool. And my sister was looking for the first one, and I ended up beating her to the punch. And this happens to be the very first manga that I ever owned. This is I found it on the table sitting there like that, and I remember just opening it and looking through it and just being completely like, holy crap, this looks awesome. And I bought it, and I remember I took a picture of it. I even had the day that I bought this book, and I went home and I put it on my shelf. And it was my very first manga. And I remember the next day I was like, I want to go see what other kind of mangas they have. So I went back, and I ended up picking up this one down here. And if you guys don't know, I'm a very, very big gamer, so I love games. Zelda, you know, it's a very big franchise in the Nintendo, and like on the Nintendo consoles. So I was like, Majora's Mask. I was looking for Ocarina of Time, but they didn't have it. But I was like, Majora's Mask. I picked it up, and I started reading it, and I remember finishing it, and I really, really fell in love with reading manga. And after that, I remember I saw this anime movie, and I like saw a trailer for it. And I was like, oh, this looks cool. I was like, I know my sister's in anime, so maybe me and her can watch it. And that movie just happens to be Akira. And I remember watching Akira for the very first time and being like, dude, this shit is awesome. I was like, this shit is sick. I was like, I need to buy the box set for it. And I remember I went on Barnes & Noble, bought the box set. And I remember going to Barnes & Noble again another time. So this was just a series of me going to Barnes & Noble multiple times. I ordered this through Barnes & Noble, but I remember I went to Barnes & Noble and saw the Bakuman box set. And I was like, what the heck is this? I was like, this looks like a high school manga. And I was like, it kind of looks like shit. You know, I was kind of just brushing it off. And I remember reading the description on Amazon, and I remember getting a really good deal on Amazon for it. And I ended up picking it up. And those were my first two box sets. And after that, it just got worse and worse and worse. And then after that, I ended up buying Death Note all-in-one edition. I didn't really like it as much. And then after that, I remember I ended up finding the first One Piece box set. And I remember really after I found the first One Piece box set, I started buying the Full Metal Alchemist box set. I started hunting for Berserk, started hunting for Vinland Saga, Drifting Clash. Like I remember it just all kind of started unfolding after I found the One Piece box set, and here we are today. Um, this collection's wide and vast. I mean, but there's a lot more better collections out there. But I just like my collection because it's um, I wanted my collection to kind of reflect on who I am. I love Berserk. I love series like that. I love Dragon Ball. I love Gantz. I love Chainsaw Man. I love Hunter x Hunter. I love all those different series like that, and I'm just glad that I'm able to actually be in this time of manga collecting where I'm able to find stuff like this. I know in the middle of the pandemic, Chainsaw Man was just scalped out like crazy. You weren't able to find it and stuff like that, but I think now we're able to get a lot more series and stuff like that. I mean, One Piece is coming back in stock. I'm still trying to find the third One Piece box set still, but I thought it'd just be a fun video to just tell you guys how I got into manga. And if it was never for my sister for showing me Dragon Ball, I probably would have had a lot more money in my bank account right now. But I just want to thank her for showing me manga because this is definitely my favorite hobby besides gaming. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to tell you guys that little quick story. Thanks for watching.